You're playing with your dog, tail wagging, tongue out, pure joy. And then, mid-play, a nail catches your hand. Just an accident. You flinch, ouch, and in that half second, something changes. The wagging stops, the ears drop, the tail tucks. Your dog looks away, then back at you, then away again, slow, careful, almost ashamed. Maybe they walk backward. Maybe they come close and gently sniff your hand, like they're checking on you. You've seen this face before. Most of us have, and most of us call it the same thing. Guilt. But here's the question that's harder to answer than it sounds. Did your dog actually feel guilty? Or is that famous guilty look something else entirely, something we've been misreading for years? Stay with me, because what science discovered surprised even the researchers who went looking for the answer. For most dog owners, this isn't really a question. It feels obvious. The dog knows they did something wrong. The dog feels bad about it. The dog is, in some small way, apologizing. We've built an entire vocabulary around it. Guilty dog. He knows what he did. Look at that face. He's sorry. It's one of the most human things we do. We look at our dogs and we see ourselves, which makes sense. Guilt, in humans, is a moral emotion. It requires understanding that you did something wrong, knowing it violated a shared rule, and feeling bad specifically because of that violation. It's a complicated, layered emotional experience. So when a dog's face seems to broadcast all of that in real time, we assume the inner world matches the outer expression. But a psychologist named Alexandra Horowitz wanted to actually test that assumption instead of just trusting it. Her experiment was simple, almost deceptively so. She had dog owners leave a treat on a table, tell their dog not to eat it, and then leave the room. While the owner was gone, Horowitz sometimes let the dog eat the treat, and sometimes she took it away herself, without the dog ever touching it. Then came the twist. When owners came back, some were told the truth about what happened, others were lied to. Some owners scolded a completely innocent dog because they believed wrongly that their dog had disobeyed. Others praised a dog who had actually eaten the treat because they'd been told it hadn't. And here's what mattered most. The guilty look showed up based on how the owner acted, not on what the dog had actually done. Dogs who were scolded looked guilty even when they were innocent. Dogs who weren't scolded often didn't look guilty at all, even when they'd eaten the treat. The face wasn't tracking the crime, it was tracking the owner. Now, that doesn't mean dogs feel nothing. It doesn't mean the guilty look is empty or fake. It means we might be looking at the right expression and drawing the wrong conclusion about what's underneath it. So what is actually happening in that moment? To understand that, you have to understand what dogs are truly experts at. And it isn't understanding right and wrong, it's reading us. Dogs live their entire lives translating human behavior. Long before they respond to a word, they respond to a tone. Long before they understand a rule, they understand a posture, a stiffened shoulder, a sharper voice, a change in breathing, a shift in your face that happens in a fraction of a second, so small you don't even notice you made it, but your dog does. That guilty posture, the lowered head, the tucked tail, the sideways glance isn't unique to guilt at all. It's a broader signal, one that shows up anytime a dog senses tension, disapproval, or unpredictability from a person they depend on. Researchers call this kind of behavior appeasement. It's less "I did something bad" and more "something feels off between us, and I want that feeling to go away." Which raises the next question. Why would a dog's brain be built to care so much about our emotional state? This is where it gets interesting. Underneath that guilty face is a nervous system shaped by thousands of years of living alongside humans. Dogs are one of the only species on Earth that reads human emotional expressions almost as fluently as another human would. And that skill isn't decorative, it's survival. For a dog, your emotional state used to mean everything. Whether they'd be fed, whether they were safe, whether they belonged. So their brains evolved to specialize in something remarkably specific, not moral reasoning, but relationship repair. When their nervous system detects distress in you, it doesn't ask, "Did I cause this on purpose?" It simply responds to the disruption itself, the way a tuning fork responds to vibration. There's real biology behind this. Positive interaction between dogs and their owners, eye contact, gentle touch, calm voices triggers oxytocin release in both species, the same bonding chemical involved in human attachment. When that bond feels threatened, even briefly, a dog's stress response activates. The lowered ears, the freezing, the careful movements, these aren't performances of remorse. They're a nervous system trying to de-escalate, trying to restore closeness, trying to get back to safety. Dogs may not understand morality the way we do, but they are exquisitely tuned to us. And in some ways, that's a far more intimate kind of intelligence than guilt could ever be. Think about an older man and his golden retriever, a dog he's had since it was 8 weeks old. One afternoon, while playing fetch, the dog jumps up too fast and catches the man's arm with a claw. Nothing serious, just a small scratch and a startled "hey," but the dog goes still, stops running, walks over slowly, ears back, and rests his head against the man's leg. For the next hour, he doesn't leave his side. Every few minutes, he glances up, checking the man's face like he's reading a weather report. The man laughs it off and says the same thing so many owners say. He knows what he did, but maybe that's not quite it. Maybe the dog isn't replaying the scratch in his mind, weighing right against wrong. Maybe what he's replaying is something simpler and, in its own way, deeper, the sound of alarm, in a voice he trusts completely, and an urgent need to make sure that voice sounds calm again. So where does that leave us? Do dogs feel guilty or not? The honest answer refuses to be a simple yes or no. Dogs probably don't experience guilt the way humans define it, as a judgment about a specific wrongdoing measured against a moral standard. That kind of guilt requires a level of abstract self-reflection dogs likely don't have. But absence of guilt doesn't mean absence of feeling. Dogs can experience real concern, real stress, real fear of conflict, a real urgent desire to repair a bond the moment it feels strained. What looks like an apology may actually be something even more tender, not, "I know I did something wrong, but I know something feels wrong right now and I need us to be okay." So the next time your dog gives you that famous, unmistakable guilty look, you might be witnessing something other than shame. You might be witnessing a creature who has spent thousands of years learning to read your heart, responding not to what happened, but to how you feel about what happened. They may not know they broke the vase, but they know you're upset. And in that moment, more than anything else, they want the two of you to be okay again. That's not guilt. That might be something better.